The football season on the high school level ends this weekend, and we start out with the first all-New Center 7 team by looking at some of those guys with skills, Keith.
That's right, and as you said, Travis, we do go on to the skill position, and of course they're on offense. So we begin on offense, and those skill guys, and even though I don't like calling this skill positions because every position is a skill position, they are, in fact, called skill positions. So here we go. Let's get it underway. Jeff DeSambre from T-Burg is our quarterback. Even though he's not a true QB, he played there when Mariano went down with an injury, and DeSambre is too good to not be on the team. He tallied 6 touchdowns on the year. Behind him in the backfield, Dave Knickerbocker from Candor. Knickerbocker rushed for 1,108 yards and 96, and also reached pay dirt 16 times. Besides Dave, in our wishbone backfield is Jacob Linderberry from Lansing. Jacob gained 799 yards on the ground and recorded 6 rushing TDs. Linderberry split time with Eric T. Imagine what could have been. The blocking back for these guys, Eric Ferner from Groton. Ferner is a house. He will take on any defender sick enough to challenge him, and Eric can also run and catch if needed. Also helping block is tight end Ben Blakesley from Ithaca, but Ben is also a talented receiver who averaged nearly 18 yards per catch for the Little Red and Frank Fazio. Our lone wide receiver is T-Burg's John Reed. He stands at 6'6", capable of catching the jump balls over anyone. He's also reliable for those 2-point conversions. And now with the offensive line, take it away,
All
Travis.
right, Keith, our team is going to have a powerful offensive line. When I think of power at the offensive line position, how about Andy Downer-Dryden, 6'2", 295. And he's got some speed, some moves, some quickness. Here, this is what you call a pancake. You want those if you're an offensive lineman. And he'll even go after a loose ball and a fumble. Also on the line, in the circle, T-Burg Steve Zimmerman, the senior, knows how to sustain the block, and he was sustaining some blocks this year. Those T-Burg backs, a lot of yards. In Candor, taking 2 guys. The right side of the line, Craig Bennett and Chad Edwards. Could I run behind those guys?
No doubt about it.
All right, those guys open a lot of holes. At center, we need a guy with good hands. How about a pitcher? Kenny Henry, great hands. We put him at the center position in the circle there, and Kenny knows how to play in the mud. We got guys who can play in the mud. He'll be the driving force of this offensive line. On to the defense.
Defense will start with the linebackers, and Dryden's Jason Marshall. Marshall checks in at 6'1", 220, and is multi-talented. He can rush the passer and stuff the run effectively. Technically, Jason could be a defensive end, but when Travis and I decided to play a 3-4, we moved Marshall back. Joining him is this guy. He really earned my respect because he sticks his nose in every single play. He is Scott Thompson from T-Burg, the anchor of the Blue Raider defense. Ithaca's Chris Harstick makes the squad. He was very impressive for Frank Fazio and just beat out teammate Alex Pape for this position. Our 4th linebacker is Jason Moore from Lansing. He came out strong in the polls at the end of the year, and he received some outside lobbying and thus earns a spot on the roster for the rest of the day. Here's Travis.
All right, let's go to the front line, and we're going to start there with a couple of Lansing guys. Mike Norman, Steve Cowles, they dominated all year together up front. Hey, why separate them for our team? Opposing offenses met Norman invasions week in and week out. He's got some speed. He'll throw guys to the turf. Cowles, on the other hand, you got to double team the guy. And even when he isn't getting in on the play, hey, he knows what to do after the play's over. He's going to help his man, Ken Henry. Hey, help that guy get up. All right, we need an X factor on this team. It's going to be Jelani Sawyer. I talked to him this year. He says, hey, I said, you know, what are you playing? What are you? He says, I'm an X. We need an X on our team. He can run. He's got great speed. He'll bring guys down. Well, teams are going to try and throw on us. Our front 7 is that good. And when they throw on us, we get some guys in the secondary. Guys like Greg Rucco in Newfield, the senior, who'll make the interception. And hey, if you want to run at him, you better make sure you're holding on to the football. Rucco, a heads-up player. He's a big guy, too. They like those big quarterbacks these days. He'll cough the football up. And, hey, we want turnovers, and when we get turnovers, we want big plays after those turnovers. That's why joining him at the other corner, Jay Hobbs of Dryden, knows how to get us in good field position after that interception, I would say. We're going to take another Dryden guy at the safety position, Mark Smith. Hey, if they're going to catch the ball, which I don't think they would against this team very often, we're going to put Mark Smith out there to bring him down. And we're going to want to score on defense. And you want to score, how about Eric T? We'll put him into the other safety position because when he gets the ball, things are going to happen. He's going to score touchdowns. We want to run the score up. That's our defense. They'll force a lot of punts, and that's why we want to have a good special teams, Steve.
Exactly, and we have what I believe is the most athletic player in our area. Johnny Payne from T-Burg is our return specialist. He's very dangerous in the open field and hard to catch once he's by you. And if for some reason, Travis, we get stopped on offense and had to punt, Pete McCaffrey from Ithaca would do the honors, but I seriously doubt that is going to happen. No way can they stop our team.
That's a good team. A lot of great players out there. Great season of
Everybody
football,
deserves it. Great season, everybody.
Okay. For Keith Lavardi, Travis Lee, this was Sports Monday. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Dryden was the most valuable lifter. Central Iowa teammates Troy Dean and Sean Shea won their weight classes. Lansing Steve Cowles took second place in the total poundage. Advertising makes the world go round, and you can